Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new J Ariona video. It's been a while, guys. I've been doing a lot of things, trying to get some stuff caught up in real life, but I'm finally sitting at a place where I think that I've got a good home in the game, and I feel like there is more opportunity for me to do different things. So that being said, we're going to start off with a Dark Iron Dwarf. Now, this is not what most players are going to be at, but this is, so you can sort of use this as a guide to show you where to begin as a player. So first off, first and foremost, we are going to be looking through some baseline things. So first off, we're going to open up our character. We're actually going to open up our add-ons folder. Add-ons. And here, I'm going to point out a couple of some of the key things that you're going to look out for. First off, you're going to want a damage meter. Now, this damage meter can be gotten anytime, but I don't recommend that you solely focus on this damage meter. The damage meter is basically working against you at all times. If you start seeing yourself dip, you're going to think that you're doing some stuff wrong, that your rotation's wrong, and it could be. But if you start only watching meters, you are going to have a bad time in this game. So do not only watch meters. Please get meters, but if you use them incorrectly, the thing doesn't work as well as it would normally work. So I use details. And details, you can change all these options. There are damage done options, there's healing options, resource using options, miscellaneous things such as CC breaks and battle reses and dispels and all that. There are a bunch of things that you could look for, and you could split these into multiple windows, which I will show you how to do at a later point. We're just going to start off basically with this shaman is going to be a healer. So I will only look at HPS. Let's just say I'm only going to look at HPS. That's fine. And then details is going to track all of my healing and showing me where I am on the healing meters. And of course, stuff like that. Another thing that really would be good for leveling is handy notes. It will point out certain things if there is an achievement linked to something, if there is a hidden thing in the area, or chests that spawn in the area. They will notify you via handy notes, and it's more of a convenience thing. You don't always see that there's a chest up or something, but it will show on your map, and it will give you an alert that there's been. It's kind of like an NPC scan. Another thing that you want to probably get on your account, and this is early on, is Pawn. Using Pawn, you can start building for your endgame stats, keep yourself on a set stat weight system, and it'll basically just make the process of gearing a little bit more easier to figure out. Some things are better than others, but this is just going to take raw numbers and show you what's going to be working for you. The other big thing is simulation craft. This is for endgame though. When you're level 120, you can sim yourself, you can get everything going on your character, and then you can get your own pawn strings after you've gotten a certain amount of gear, and it'll help you even things out in your stat allocations and stat weights and whatnot. There was another one that is Azerite power weights, but currently it is down, and I have not found a new version of it yet, so we're just going to wait on that. Another big thing, especially if you are on a fresh account and you have had the ability to see, hey, there are some add-ons that make making money easier. Auctionator is one of the best things that you can ever invest any time into learning. It will help you sell stuff. It will help you make money. It will help you take some of the greens that you gather up on quests or questing, and you get world drops or whatever, take them and put them on the auction house. You do not know, especially depending on your server, how many people are looking for that certain item. I put up something the other day and it sold for about 30k. I didn't think it was worth anything. It was a green, but someone wanted it bad enough and they paid the 30K for it. So I see a lot of things like that in retrospect that, hey, you know, they might be a good thing for a new player to do. Next thing we're going to really look at is, and this is the really only other thing that I'm going to look at right now, is decursive. If you have the ability to decurse, to dispel, to remove power, or remove a debuff from somebody, decursive will immediately let you know the person, and it will show up on screen with a block for you to click that will dispel the target. It is very handy, especially if you're going to be a healer, and since I'm going to be throwing you the viewpoint of a healer, I think it's pretty good to really go along about. Now, some of the other things I could point out is method dungeon tools. It helps you plan out runs for your, especially if you're a tank, it helps you plan out your mythic plus pathways, your runs, and it can be used, of course, to plan out regular dungeons if you are not at the level of mythic or higher, or heroic or higher. It's still helpful to have a game plan going into some of these dungeons. Raider IO, as soon as you're 120 and you start, I really don't like using Raider IO, but everybody's got their standard that they want somebody to have a Raider IO score. So if you're going to start doing any amount of Mythic Plus farming or any amount of heroic, heroic rating or normal rating, some people are looking at IOs, and unfortunately that's just the system that has taken effect since Legion. And there's been other things that have come and gone, such as gear score, such as all those other things that really didn't make the game better, but were giving people just avenues to throw a limit on something and throw a something that they want up. And that's pretty much it. You're going to start building your own UI at some point, and right now this is just currently how mine is hooked up. I could make it better, but at the moment I don't have some of the proper things to help me out with here. Actually, and I just noticed this. Target frame. I need to target something. There we go. I should make those pretty well even with each other. So put the target cast bar up top. I'll put my cast bar over here. Should be fine. And lock it up. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so now that we've gone over some of the add-ons that I use, some of the things, we are going to look a little bit more into the spec, the things that I want to do, and how we're going to attack this avenue of leveling. So, currently, I'm looking at my character, and I see that I have the ability to enter pawn strings. The scale is manual, and basically what I'll do is I'll cut here, and I will show you guys me putting in the information that I've pulled from various websites. So the best place for you to get stat weights currently is below level 120, below cap, is you're going to be pulling it off of Noxxic. And Noxxic is a website that shows you guides, comprehensive guides, etc., to help your leveling process and help your gearing process, and to show that your class needs to be done a certain way for it to function properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to stop talking really. I'm going to go over to Noxxic. I'm going to go to DPS. That's just the link I'm going into, and then we're going to go down to Shaman, and I'm going to find the restoration part. We're going to go to stat priority. I am going to pull the pawn string by copying the pawn string. And we're also going to get our talent builds set up. Again, these talent builds, you can really tailor your talent build to whatever way you want. But there are certain things that might be better. So we're going to go into pawn, and then we're going to import. And I am not going to accept that guild invite at the moment, because we need to look for a guild later on. So I'm going to put these pawn strings in, and there we go. We have a restoration shaman pawn string active. And we can find out if it's working properly by going to the heirlooms tab. And this is a big thing. You might not have access to these heirlooms at your level currently, so don't think that these are the absolute thing you have to have. But I'm going to pick up my headpiece, I'm going to pick up my shoulders, I'm going to pick up my back piece, my chest piece, my legs, and I think I'm going to pick up the shield and one of these. This hammer. I don't know why it's showing that a shaman could use a sword. That's weird. And my 2 trinkets. We'll pick those up. And of course we'll grab the neck piece that is not going to really be effective until no, it's not going to be effective until about 110 anyway. So we're going to start equipping this gear. And as you can see, it is showing that there's certain percent upgrades that I am getting because I'm equipping this gear. We throw the trinkets on, and we find out that we've kind of filled out most of our gear slots, which is good. And then we can transmog later on. They give you a 1 gold start, which is a lot more than any other characters really get. Currently, I have all my other characters that are available in my realm that show that I have a bunch of money, but I'm not going to be sending any money to this character. This character will only be used, it will only be using stuff that it can produce itself. So I will not be accepting any like donations, or I won't be accepting any favoritism, so I probably won't end up joining my guild with this guy until I hit 120. But the whole point of this series of video is to give you guys like a comprehensive guide on how to, how do I approach leveling. And currently, dungeon grinding is still technically one of your better ways to do any leveling, but I also use it as training. I have not been a healer traditionally, so being able to start using healer things and doing things as a healer is giving me even more confidence to continue healing. And the point of this is just to show you that you can build yourself as a player. You can push yourself to beyond your limits that you want to achieve. So we've got our pawn string in, and that's really all we need to know for that. We're going to open up our tab here. We're going to spec into restoration because we are an allied race. We do start at level 20. And there we go. So now we have restoration. So a big thing for me that it took me a while to learn is macros, is making sure your character's abilities are reachable by your hands, your fingers, your clicks, etc., etc. It's stuff that helps you train to be a better person playing your character. So if I look at my bars right now, they're currently empty. And if I look in my that's Control P, no. If I look at my regular talents, you can see that there are things that are highlighted, such as a chain heal, Riptide, healing surge, healing stream totem. So I'm going to throw the healing stream totem over there. Ancestral spirit is your like res. So yeah, it restores a dead person to life. We're going to throw in our chain heal on 2. We'll throw our healing surge in on actually 2. We'll move chain heal to 3. Riptide will be first. We could weave in lightning bolts and stuff, but at the moment I probably won't. Actually, we'll move that to here, and we'll move chain lightning. We'll move lightning to there as well. I don't think I have chain lightning at the moment. Not yet. No. 23 is healing wave, so there's certain things. But what I would like you to get into the habit of doing is using macros. So we'll type out slash macro. If I could type the M, macro. So we go into macros, and you can see here that we do have some macros set up. I'm gonna just dismiss that guild invite. We do have some macros currently set up, so this will be that'll be your healing wave at some point. We've got a chain heal macro, I believe here. That's a chain heal macro, so we'll throw that down. Get rid of that, and it should be targetable now. So 3 is our chain heal, so I shouldn't have to click on anything. I just go target, and it is targeting me. I think that might be only because there's no one else for me to target. No, I can't reach anything else, can I? Maybe we'll work on macros later. No, we should be able to still do macros, sorry. Macro. So if I take this one out, put it down here, get rid of that one, just to make sure that we are hitting the macro correctly. Maybe I just can't heal any of these guys. Maybe it's just not working for some reason. I don't know. We'll find out. So for now, we're just gonna go Riptide. We'll put you down there. We'll throw you there. Throw that out. Only use the macro. Throw that out. We'll throw that there. That other one can stay over there. Chain heal, we'll throw there. And that is pretty much it for the shaman's abilities at the moment. So we'll exit off. As you can see, okay, it's just because I can't target those. So now that we've got all that prepared, again, some things that you might want to know is that heirloom gear is mostly people have grown out of the want to level from scratch, and heirloom gear gives you a tremendous boost to your experience gained. So a lot of people use it, but you don't have to use it. You can function as a character without having to resort to using heirloom gear. It just gives you a bit of an edge and just makes you more strong in total to do dungeons and such. So we've got all that done. I've showed you macros. I've showed you and the mouse over macros. Basically, what they're doing is I don't have to individually click, things to cast abilities. So if I mouse over macro my Riptide, as soon as I mouse over a character or a player frame, it'll just go boom. Or my heal just goes boom, or the chain heal just goes boom, and so on and so forth. And other things like the healing tide totem, those are just things that you take to help do your healing and such when you're in a dungeon setting. So yeah, so that's a good a good start to getting your character planned out. And again, this is for the people who are going to want to make sure that they're doing things that keep them on track to be getting into guilds, to be getting into raid groups, to be getting into PvP experiences. All of these things are crucial to help you understand that there's a lot of things that you can do to just better your character and better yourself, to make yourself a better player. And when you play better, everybody else around you plays better. You can make up for some people's shortcomings, and you feel good about yourself, and it helps them feel good about themselves. So there you go. Alright, guys, thank you for tuning into episode 1. I know that this one was very straightforward and rambly. When we start getting into dungeon content, I can kind of go off the cuff more. I can give you guys commentary on some of the things I might be doing. And that being said, I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to let you guys go. But thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Have a good day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.